Hello, I'm here today to talk about something that I am really excited to speak about and that I'm passionate about. We call this session Brands Can Do What? How CTV Rewrites the Rules of Account-Based Marketing. So I'm Jon Zucker. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager at Mountain, a performance TV platform. And if you take one thing away from my session today, it's that there are recent innovations in connected TV, and they're really rewriting what's possible for B2B marketers. These recent innovations allow you to do your ABM strategies and bring them to connected TV and make your entire marketing mix more effective. So really excited to get into why that's the case. And hopefully you have some hard takeaways from this that you can then apply to your media mix as soon as we finish. So hopefully this is a valuable session for everybody who's watching. So here's today's agenda. First, I'll talk about why the ABM playbook is overused and outdated and why you shouldn't get lost in the shuffle. The second is how connected TV is really allowing marketers to rethink their ABM strategies, especially B2B marketers. Third, I'll talk about some new innovations in connected TV that are advancing the ad channel and making it more accessible for B2B and more usable for B2B advertising. And finally, I'll walk through some best practices and use cases for ABM on connected TV. But first, let's take a step back and talk about B2B and television, which is a very brief romance. I want you to think about your favorite ad, the best ad you've ever seen. Odds are it is a television ad, and odds are it is not a B2B ad. So B2B doesn't really have a long or prolific history on television. B2B ads are typically limited in scope. You usually only see them every once in a while, maybe on a Sunday, or a kind of high indexing event like a PGA golf game. They can often be fairly stuffy and boring, and oftentimes they're targeted pretty broadly on linear TV because there is an audience targeting. So there's a lot of wasted ad dollars on uninterested audiences and buyers who aren't actually buyers. So why is this the case? TV really should be a better fit for B2B audiences. B2B audiences, or B2B advertisers, I should say, they need key elements when you commit budgets to TV ads. You need your ad spend to be efficient. You need to make sure that you're reaching the right audience. You want to reach potential buyers, people who can actually take an action after watching your TV ad. And you want to be able to measure the impact of your TV campaigns accurately. What is the site traffic that you've driven amongst your buyers? How many of those buyers then went and did a form fill, signed up for a free trial, or eventually converted from during your sales cycle? Broadcast and cable TV simply can't offer these. It doesn't have the targeting. It doesn't have the measurability. So the result historically is that linear TV just isn't a great channel for ABM strategies. One thing that I think we can all pretty much agree on is that ABM has been the same for a long time, and everyone is doing virtually the same thing. 70% of marketers say they use ABM, but they're all using the same playbook. Everybody's emailing folks. Everybody is using LinkedIn. They're using retargeting and across omni-channel based on first-party data. And hopefully they're driving people to personalized landing pages that speak to specific audiences. All of this is fine, but if everyone's doing the exact same thing, it can be really, really easy to get lost in the shuffle and not actually stand out and ultimately drive that site traffic conversions that lead to sales and revenue growth. Unfortunately, a lot of ABM strategies can be described as apathetic, and unfortunately, they've been put on autopilot, not for lack of trying, but just for lack of optionality over most of time for B2B marketers. It's just been very, very limited. Email is effective, but the experiences aren't unique enough to stand out. Oftentimes, I know I'm guilty of this every once in a while as well. I'll wake up, I'll go on my email, I'll have received 10 overnight calls. I can't address all of them with my day-to-day responsibilities, and I'll maybe address one or two, and then the others I'll have to mark as read and move on with my day. So it's really tough if I don't know somebody ahead of time to be able to then go and take an action as just a B2B buyer myself. Targeted ads, LinkedIn is fine, but it's very, very easy to get lost in the shuffle. And retargeting ads across channels oftentimes aren't consistent with LinkedIn ads. And even more so, they're reliant on having a wide pool of first-party data. So if you're not driving people to your site, doing retargeting omni-channel is going to be limited by that retargeting pool. Finally, custom landing pages are great, but if a prospect isn't making it to your custom landing page, there's really a limited amount that you can actually do with that. And so it's really never been more critical than ever to update your ABM strategies. There's just too much at stake. 91% of marketers say that ABM-driven sales drive larger deals. 95% of buyers choose a provider that gives ample content, and 200% more revenue is generated by marketers using ABM versus those who don't. It's really, really critical right now to do ABM well, to not get lost in the shuffle, and to really stand out. And one of the ways you can do this is by using connected TV to stand out and make your ABM strategies more effective. So performance-focused CTV specifically can be a really powerful channel. It combines the precision of digital with TV's impact. It's fully measurable to track outcomes, and it's targetable for ABM strategies. We like to think that paid search captures existing demand. These are people who are already searching for you. They're searching for your immediate competitors. CTV generates new demand. And having those two things working together are really, really important. It can help not only just generate new demand, but level up the existing strategies you're already using. And new CTV developments are making this even easier. The first is connected TV is one of the channels that you can actually scale your CRM strategy and your CRM targeting, which is really, really awesome and powerful. You can now use CRM data to target valuable prospects on television. So with Mountain, you can specifically take a list of emails you upload from your CRM, and you can match them to audiences across 120 million connected TV households in the US and scale your targeting against those users. So this allows you to do campaign types that have never been seen before on TV. You can do loyalty campaigns. You can upsell with specific messaging to existing customers. And ultimately, you can retain more of your customers. This is huge. Bain Capital said they did a study, and 5% of an increase in retention actually leads to a 25% increase in company profits. So being able to increase the lifetime value of your existing customers is just one really powerful way of being able to use connected TV to get in front of them on premium networks with non-skippable ads that they can't ignore, and make sure that they're constantly spending and upselling for your business. The next is you can get really, really granular with connected TV. You can use third-party targeting to target your specific B2B audience based on the actual attributes that are most important to a B2B buyer. So you can target by role type, by job function, by company size, company sales volume, decision-making capabilities. Are they an influencer, or are they directly responsible for actually making the end purchase for, say, your software? You can even target people by their in-market signals for specific types of software and many more signals. Specifically on Mountain, you have over 85,000 different third-party segments that you can use to build your exact audience and make sure that you're not wasting a dollar when you're targeting them on TV. And finally, retargeting, we know, is really, really important for every channel if you're a B2B marketer. Most B2B marketers are using retargeting today. You can now bring that to connected TV as well. Now, why is retargeting so important? 5% of B2B buyers are ready to purchase right now. That is a very, very low number. So we know that you need to stay in front of your buyer and make sure they know who you are before they're ready to purchase, because odds are they're not right now. It's also really important to know that 90% of B2B buyers purchase from companies they knew at the start of the buying process. So if your potential prospect doesn't know who you are before they even know they want to know who you are, you've already lost the deal. So with connected TV, you can retarget that person who's already shown interest. They've learned about your site. They're consistently going to your site to read your content, to learn more. That way, when they do move into that 5% segment where they're ready to buy, they know who you are, and you have a chance of being in that initial consideration set, so you can close that deal. B2B marketing is hard. We're B2B marketers ourselves. We feel your pain, but we know that by adding these different tactics, specifically connected TV, to your ABM strategy, this is how you have to navigate these really difficult waters and make sure that you have a chance of actually closing business. One of the things about connected TV with Mountain is that you can drill down on data and look at your audiences. So a lot of channels you can build audiences and target them on, say, paid social. You can target on keywords on paid search. But when you want to learn about your audience, it can be really difficult to get in there. What are the job types, the job roles, the in-market signals that are really delivering the most value? Who is the exact person who, when you show them an ad, they visit your site and they convert? So with Connected TV and Connected TV through Mountain, we actually offer segment level reporting. So you can see exactly which attributes of an individual are driving them to take action. This gives you a really detailed view of who your customer is. And then you can take those learnings and apply them to your other channels. You can apply them to LinkedIn. You can apply them to your retargeting campaigns. You can apply them to your third-party paid social campaigns if you're using those outside of LinkedIn. So it's a really valuable thing of not just delivering the site traffic and conversions with Connected TV alone, but it's bringing these learnings to your other channels to make them more effective. So let's talk about a success story and an advertiser who is actually able to use Connected TV to inform their ABM strategies. So Guesty is a real estate management software. They're a B2B brand. They sell to B2B audiences. They came to Mountain because they saw their search and social plateau. They wanted to drive more traffic and leads. They needed to bring more people to their site. So they launched a prospecting and retargeting campaign. They built their audience specifically using third-party data and targeted them on Connected TV. Then they retargeted them further down the funnel, also on Connected TV. On top of that, they used their CRM lists to target their high-value potential prospects and existing customers to re-engage them and keep them retained, but also take those people who are on the fence and drive them to actually go and make a purchase. Again, there's only the 5% of potential leads are ready to buy at any one time, so it's important to stay in front of them. They were able to use this three-pronged strategy, get in front of their audiences on premium networks like ESPN, ABC, et cetera, and deliver fantastic results. They delivered CPAs that were 26% below their goal, and they delivered site traffic that was actually 68% more efficient than their goal. So pretty fantastic results and a great example of a B2B brand that was able to use all the different facets of Connected TV targeting to reach the exact audience they wanted to, and then drive people down the funnel. TV is really now B2B ready, and it is a great demand gen channel for leveling up your ABM strategies. And that is the main takeaway that I want everyone to understand for this. On TV, specifically with Mountain, your ads are unskippable. Your buyers are only seeing a 15 or 30-second unskippable ad on premium content. If they actually don't finish the ad, we don't count that view or any subsequent actions that come after that view. So you can feel confident that if you're targeting your buyer, they are seeing your message in full. You're also only pairing your pitch with hit content on premium channels. So if you're working with Mountain Performance TV, we have 150 plus direct deals with premium networks like ESPN, ABC, NBC, and more, Peacock. And we promise that you will only appear on those premium networks, which is great. It means that your brand is getting that extra bump of being on that premium content, which ultimately drives the best possible results. Unlike linear TV, your dollars are really highly focused on reaching those high quality audiences. You're building your exact buyer, you're retargeting your exact segment, and you're using your CRM list to scale that specific targeting against 120 million households. And finally, your performance data is measured in real time. You can look at your results, you can make adjustments, but most importantly, you can take all of the learnings from your campaign, bring them to your other channels to make them more effective. One last piece I actually wanted to mention with that, we've actually run some studies, and we've seen that by adding Connected TV to your overall marketing mix as a B2B marketer, your other channels become more effective. So for example, we've seen paid social actually increase their conversion rates by 22% after an advertiser added Connected TV to their campaigns. We've seen email campaigns and their conversion rates go up by 37% on average as well. So it's definitely the rising tide lifts all ships scenario. So today's key takeaways. Connected TV is a valuable but underutilized tool for B2B advertisers to stand out and generate leads. There really is just too much at stake to keep following the same overplayed ABM playbook. CTV is allowing B2B marketers to expand beyond what has been possible traditionally go beyond the limits of traditional B2B marketing and get in front of buyers, drive more site traffic, generate more demand, and ultimately convert more leads and more revenue. And finally, recent technological advancements in targeting and measurement have made CTV the ultimate demand gen channel for B2B marketers. So at this point, I'm happy to take some questions and happy to continue this conversation even after this is all been finished. So I'll just take a quick look at the chat. Let's address this question first. Isn't CTV typically used by younger audiences? Does this impact how viable the channel is for B2B advertisers? So yes, B2B, or yes, connected TV is watched by millennials. It is watched by Gen Z, but recent studies also show that over half of audiences 65 plus are watching connected TV. Over 70% of audiences 55 to 65 are watching connected TV. So it really is a great opportunity to be able to reach your exact buyer, no matter what their age is. More importantly, you have the ability to scale against people of any age, but you can still build that exact audience. So it's people who have that additional attribute of they are in market, they are considering your software, they are able to actually make this decision as a C-suite person in the exact seat that you're targeting. So yes, you can scale against any generation, but you can also scale specifically against your buyer. And that is the big difference between connected TV with precision advertising, precision targeting versus linear. So two, how much more do I pay to be seen on popular streaming services? So if you're working with Mountain, nothing. You activate specifically on our 150 plus direct deals. We use our aggregated buying power as the leader in performance TV to actually negotiate on your behalf. And then we pass all of those savings back to our advertisers so that you can deliver performance. Our pricing is extremely efficient for those premium networks. And that allows you to deliver that site traffic and deliver that performance and generate those leads that ultimately are the most important for your business. Another question here. Are you suggesting that we ditch social channels like LinkedIn altogether for connected TV? Absolutely not. We are not saying that you should be funneling all of your money into connected TV. Please don't tell my COO I said that. But as a B2B marketer myself, I couldn't in good faith come on here and tell you that that was the case. It really is an addition to your overall B2B marketing strategy. You should still be on LinkedIn, but you should go on LinkedIn until the point of diminishing returns. Paid search, absolutely. But realistically, as I said before, paid search only captures your existing demand. And a lot of people just aren't searching for B2B companies at a scale that makes paid search a truly scalable channel. So adding CTV to your mix, it brings in that new demand and actually makes these channels more effective. So we did a study and we found that customers who brought connected TV into their marketing mix saw their paid social conversion rates increase by 22% and their email conversion rates increased by 37%. So it's one of those things where it does make your other channels more effective. And this just makes sense if you think about the general vibe and engagement that people have with TV. If you're watching TV, you're watching long form content, you're fully leaned in. You're getting that non-skippable message against premium channels. If you're on social, it is a scroll first environment. It's really, really hard to stop somebody's thumb, stop somebody's scroll to get their attention, especially with long form text. Paid search is the same thing. People are just going on there. They're seeing a very small blip of text. So conquesting can be really difficult. With TV, you're priming them up to understand who you are and your message. So by the time they reach that scroll heavy environment, that paid search environment with just text, they don't need to learn who you are. They just need that recognition to go click through. Another question, does CTV really drive better engagement than social? If so, how? So this is, again, I think I just answered that question. It really has to do with the way that people engage with television versus social, scroll first versus fully leaned in, non-skippable message versus a fairly cluttered environment, full screen versus a cluttered environment. One of the things that we saw that was really interesting is people who visited an advertiser site after watching a connected TV ad, and that was the reason they went and they did that action. They actually stayed on the advertiser site for, I believe it was 49% longer than people who visited by way of paid social. And so people are spending more time on your site. They're learning more about your product. They're generating more interest in your product. And ultimately, they're going to remember your product more later for when they are ready to purchase. I found this actually more interesting. We did the same study with paid search, and people who visited by way of connected TV stayed on the site for 22% longer than they did by way of paid search. So same thing, connected TV really does get people interested and engaged and then leaned in when they do take an action. So I think I have time for one more question. You talk about getting lost in this shuffle of other ABM channels. Now that every streaming service is supporting ads, isn't there a risk that viewers will get sick of seeing them and CTV ads will have the same problem? So first of all, very good question. I'll answer it in two ways. One, let's think about the environment. It's easier to get lost in the shuffle of paid social because you are scrolling and you don't have that full screen takeover. With TV, you'll always have the non-skippable full screen takeover on premium content when people are leaned in. So that alone means it's a lot easier to get somebody's undivided attention for an extended period of time. I would say also, just as importantly, the way that connected TV is just trending in the industry is actually really beneficial for advertisers, because those days of just having, one streaming service's subscription are over. Previously, everybody thought streaming was going to be fantastic. We're only spending $8 a month now to watch whatever we want. But now we're all subscribed to 3, 4, 5, 6 different services, and the price is going up. And so there have been some studies that you can double check on eMarketer. I can double check as well, that have shown that consumers are actually much more likely to sign up for an ad-supported tier of their streaming service, specifically so they can save money, because they are bundling so many different services in their household. This actually improves their the feelings that they have towards ads, because they know that by watching them, they're saving some money. Another thing we've seen is that 60% of consumers, they want targeted ads specifically to them. That is something that they want to see on television, and you can deliver that with connected TV. So you're already reaching them in an environment that gets their undivided attention. You're doing so and saving them money in the process, and they are very aware of that. And finally, you can deliver a personalized message to them, which they are actively seeking out. So it's definitely a channel where you are set up to succeed in a way that you likely aren't set up in the exact same way on other channels. So I think that's as much time as I have for today. Please feel free to follow up, and we can answer additional questions after this. But thank you so much for your time. I hope this was helpful, and enjoy the rest of the conference.